We're live. Were you wanting some music? Were you
Sure.
wanting to do that?
I'd love it.
I mean,
I need it.
I don't know if you listened to it last week, but we did a really good job without you.
Really didn't.
You didn't even hear it. Good.
All right. You ready?
Yeah, go ahead.
Tonight, on another exciting episode of Talking Beards, episode 184, we have Taxi Phil, also known as Phil Jones or Jonas, one of the Jonas brothers. He's here to talk about Beards on the Bend 2022, and can you believe this? Big Whisker Revival, Ocho.
This is amazing.
Ocho.
Cinco.
Ocho.
What's going on, Talking Beards world? Oh,
dude, I just got a check for $10,000.
Wow!
Look at
you
that.
You should cash that.
I'm so rich.
You should just cash it. It'll be fine. Anyway, I'm Aaron D. Johnston. Welcome to Talking Beards, everyone who is tuned in tonight. This is, like Scott said, this is episode number 184 of the live show. This is going to be episode number 262 of the podcast. Maybe more episodes. I don't know. I don't know how we're going to cut this thing up because we got a doozy of an episode tonight. That's what all the kids have been saying. I went to the mall and stuff. They were like, "Oh, Talking Beards is going to be a doozy tonight." That's what
talking. Doozies.
That's what I heard.
Doozies here, doozies there.
Everywhere doozies. Doozies. So tonight we're going to have the legendary Mr. Taxi Phil himself on the show. And he's going to talk about the Big Bend Beardsman event up there in Pomeroy, Ohio. Beards on the Bend. That is this weekend. And then next weekend, Taxi Phil will be putting on his club's event with the Cincinnati Beard Barons. Oh my gosh. Big Whisker Revival. Dang it. I was trying not to read it, but I did cheat. Anyway, yeah, so Taxi Phil is going to be involved with both events, and we're gonna utilize him to talk about them both tonight. What do you think about that, Scott Score?
This is great. Did you see Jason Underhill? He says, "Good evening." Do you see he's got the double dot
yeah, he's French or something. He's got to be. That's the only thing, like French or like Canadian. I don't know. Those only people put the dots over the O.
What about this? Look at this.
Sup, Josh Kim.
He's like been, I feel like.
I think he's just stalking us. What do you think?
We got lots of.
Gosh, look at this. This is an amazing event. Look at this.
People are here.
McLear's here.
Oh I don't know if people are here to see the return of me or the return of one of our other co-hosts who's been on hiatus for almost a year now.
Almost one whole year. Our co-host of Talking Beards has been gone.
Yeah. But yeah, no, we got tons of people in here tonight. So anyways, I'm Scott Sikora. Welcome everyone. This is Talking Beards. We appreciate you guys showing up tonight. This is going to be an awesome show. Super excited to be here. Super excited to have Taxi Phil as usual.
Oh my God.
Taxi's been on the Phil. Where's my head?
Taxi's been, I mean, you took a week off. I mean, you've got you're still in vacation mode right now.
Holy crap. Slocum's here. Look at this guy.
Oh my gosh.
No, everyone's. Douglas Cameron's here too.
Douglas Cameron. He has a song on Disney radio. Do you know that?
No.
Douglas Cameron is a Disney pop superstar. I just found this out the other day. Natalie told me. Congratulations, Douglas.
But yeah, so we've had Taxi's been on the show multiple times over the years. Always a great storyteller, and as Aaron was Aaron and I were talking earlier. There's going to be a doozy of a story told tonight by Phil.
Phil don't even know he's telling this doozy of a story tonight, but
I know.
we talked about it, and I think if we just lead him in a direction, we can probably just sit back and listen to this like 45-minute story.
Yeah,
Pretty
basically it revolves around the biggest news story that's been going on in the world over the past week. So
Yep, Talking Beards, international lifestyle, the
international
biggest news story. Like, there's nothing else that's bigger than that, right?
Yeah, we got Ray's here.
Ray Norcross is here.
T-Had's here. T-Had the Wahalers here who won a competition this
That's
weekend.
what I was about to say. Freaking T-Had came out of nowhere and won the Whaler category. I mean, it sucks he had to win, the Whaler category. It wasn't a goatee category or anything, but he did pretty good. He still
anyone
won.
can win that one. Like grandmas everywhere win those.
Yeah, bald-faced Josh could win a Whaler contest.
But yeah, so everyone, welcome to Talking Beards. You can find out more information by going to talkingbeards.com. There you can subscribe to the podcast. You can find out more information about the show. You can check out older episodes. You can get hooked up through our store so you can get cool stuff like, look at these t-shirts.
You can even get shirt with sleeves. This is amazing.
You can get a shirt with sleeves. You can, oh my God, look at that koozie. We don't have those on there.
You're not getting that off the store.
No, you're not.
That's an in-person thing.
That's an in-person thing. But yeah, so you can go there and you can actually watch the show over at Talking Beards, this live show right now, but you can't communicate with us in the chat room like you can on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube, which we are streaming live at all those locations. So if you do want to participate in the chat, ask Taxi Phil some questions when he gets on the show here shortly. That's where you're going to do it. But we also want to thank our friends over at Honest Amish, because they gave us a really great promo code, Talking Beards. It'll get you 15% off your order, and $35 or more gets you free shipping. So go head over to honestamish.com. And I have a fun little story that I want to share with everyone about honestamish.com, because I was just there last week.
You were,
Aaron.
We were together.
Yeah, we were. And I got some Honest Amish soap. And once again, I love soap, but somebody that's in this room right now got to use some, and we want to bring this special guest in right now.
Oh my gosh, we have a special guest. Hold on, breaking news, special guest coming in for the Austin South Talking Beard Studios. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Breaking news. Nico!
Nico's here, everyone.
Yay!
Yay!
The crowd
Nico hasn't been on the show in forever. So now Nico is down here in Teja with us. Oh my gosh.
I have Grogu.
Look at Grogu. So yeah, so we got Nico. But anyways, I just want to give you a testimonial here. I use the lavender and clove Honest Amish soap on Nico.
Mm-hmm.
I want to tell you what, man. I know it's made for humans, but it is by far probably the best shampoo I think I've ever used on Nico ever. Like, it sudsed up really, really, really nice, and it rinsed really easy and really clean. So I'm going to endorse Honest Amish soaps as really good soaps to wash your dog with, because they're all natural, they're good for them, and they're not going to hurt their skin, and it'll give some good hydration to their skin and everything. So
it's
Nico's happy.
pH balance for a human, but strong enough for dogs. Something like that, right?
Why is everyone making fun of my arms?
It's because you're wearing a sleeveless shirt, I think. I think that because that was pretty much the first thing that I touched on when we started talking, like an hour.
You always touch on it.
Yeah, I'm like, hey, look at me, I'm Scott Sakura.
Kyle
arms.
Kyle Waller's here, says, welcome back to the show, Nico.
Welcome back to the show. I saw Kyle Waller in Nashville a couple days ago, or weeks ago, or whatever it was, and he was super sad you weren't there, Scott Sakura.
I know.
I'll let you know that. Like, Kyle Waller was devastated. Devastated you weren't there.
Kyle's one of my favorite dudes to see out there. We've shared many good moments over the years. But yeah, I'm gonna let the cat out of the bag. I was actually in Nashville that night.
Yeah, I was not going to say this. You were like a mile and a half from the beard competition on the interstate, and you didn't stop. Like, we talked earlier that day, and you're like, oh, I'm getting on the road later than I wanted to, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, all right, no big deal. And then we got talking that Monday at the office in Pennsylvania. You're like, yeah, I drove right through Nashville, and we started looking at him like you were literally 1.5 miles from the competition on the interstate at like 5:30, and the competition didn't start till 7. You could have came and hung out with Kyle Waller. See, tears were flowing. He said, "You broke his heart even more."
I don't know. Brad's here.
What's up, Brad?
B-Rad.
Felipe El Taco Paternic. Oh, hey guys, I'm late. What's up, buddy?
Look at this.
So yeah, you went to Ohio. You went and got Nico. What anything else exciting happened in Chardon, Ohio? Did you go eat some pizza roll tacos?
No, I did not. But yeah, so I went back, I headed back home last week. I drove all the way back. I didn't put nearly as many miles as Aaron put on his car, but my trip was about 3,800 miles round trip. Took me about a day and a half to drive home. Spent a lot of time with my family. Got Nico, saw some of my friends and family. It was a quick in and out trip, and wanted to get back because I wanted to get Nico here and adjusted and all that stuff. And yeah, so pretty much that's it. I mean, that's really all I have to say about my story.
Well, pretty much, hold on. So how is the adjustment going for Nico? I got this really good picture that I'm going to pop up here.
No, I prefer if you didn't.
You don't want me to pop it up?
No, I don't want you to.
Oh, why didn't you tell me that earlier?
Well, because I didn't, we didn't get a chance to really talk about it. We were having too much fun before.
What's wrong with this picture? There's nothing wrong with it.
We'll talk about it later.
Okay. I'm glad I didn't just pop it up.
Yeah, so I was like, because I wasn't thinking about it. I'm like, we're gonna hold off on it for right now.
We held off. We're good.
Did I see Paul Mandalorian? I did, and I actually helped him move. He was moving, and yeah, so I helped him move for a few hours, and then I went to the restaurant and I actually worked. I swept the floor and was moving some tables. I was doing some stuff. I was moving and shaking.
Brad had a really good question. No, before we get to Debbie's question, answer Brad's question.
Well, Brad, it's kind of a little bit of this and a little bit of that, but then sometimes it really kind of depends on the situation, because then other times it's not so much a here or there, but it just depends.
Hopefully that answered your question, Brad.
Yeah.
All right. So Debbie said, "Where are you from in Ohio, Scott?"
Debbie Irwin, I am from a small town called Chardon, Ohio, which is about 20 minutes east of Cleveland, Ohio. We are the capitals of we are the snow belt of Geauga County, where we get like tons and tons of snow every year. We're about 20 miles off the Lake Erie, the greatest lake of all.
They, not we. Oh. You live in Austin now. You're not getting any snow this year.
No, I'm not, which was the other thing, was like the weather was like 70 degrees during the day and it was like 50 at night. No way, man. Dude.
Already chilly up there.
Yeah, I love it down here because it's like I get back and it's like low of like 75 and it's like still in the mid 90s. So Debbie's from Toledo. That's where they make Callahan brake parts. That's actually Sandusky, bad.
That's Sandusky. See? We were talking about that the other day. We drove past Sandusky. We're like, what's Sandusky famous for? I was like, pretty sure that's where Callahan brake parts are. And then Natalie Googled it, and lo and behold, that's what it was. But it's also home to, Cedar Point. So Sandusky.
Debbie Irwin was at the Callahan brake pad factory last week.
Wow.
Oh, and Dan has this question.
Okay.
Do you want to answer it?
Yeah, so Danny, I mean, really the best thing to really put it in a perspective, like there's, like Scott said earlier, there's a lot of some stuff, and then there's like a little bit of some stuff, but then like a lot of other things. Really, I mean, it's kind of hard to put it up. See, there you go, Debbie. Debbie and Danny must be hanging out because they're thinking the same thing. Like some things are better left unsaid.
That's truly true. But yeah, so but that was basically my weekend, or my week. I mean, that's why I was gone last week. That's why I wasn't on the show. But Aaron was around. So what'd you do? I know you went to some competition or something, and
I don't even know. So yeah, I
you
went to
won't want to
Nashville.
talk about it.
No, it's fine. I'll talk about it. So we went to obviously we were in Greenville last week, and then we drove to Sioux Falls, South Dakota this last weekend. And sometimes you go to a competition, you're just not feeling like competing. And when your friends are on the same plan with you, we're like, we're not gonna compete. We're just gonna go hang out.
What Choate says.
We'll just chill, and what Eric Choate say? Oh yeah, everybody's saying it tonight. What the hell? And yeah, so we had the plan to not compete. And so we got there, and then Gary Myers was like, come on, guys, you got to compete. We're like, we don't really want to. And he was like, I just cut into a goatee. Come on, I want to compete with you guys. And we're like, all right, we'll compete. So we went ahead and paid our registration. I went to the table, and then Andrew just disappeared. He shows back up 5 minutes later with a freaking fancy hat on, some bedazzled shoes. He's got a full suit on. I was like, what the hell? Like, what happened with us not competing? And now we're just going to, I'm barely wearing clothes at all. And here we go. Andrew cheated. He set me up for failure. He cheated. He said it best. Rigged. Freaking rigged. But it was a good time. Oh, hold on. Here we go. There we go.
That's rigged. Cool.
Hashtag rigged. But congratulations, Andrew. You beat me fair and square in stupid South Dakota, even though you cheated.
All right. So as Danny wrote in here, so this is something new that apparently we unlocked on Facebook about a month ago, where you can, if you guys are in the chat room on Facebook Live, as we're on right now, you can give us stars, which equate to like you buy stars, I guess. And it's kind of like tipping us. And if you guys are interested, like we have no idea how to get, we see where it goes, but we have yet to figure out how to get it yet. But
yeah, we got like $12 worth of stars, right?
I know. Yeah, well, I think we're up to 20 some now.
We're
gonna buy ice cream for everyone.
We're gonna buy all the ice cream. I mean,
did you see Phil? How excited Phil got down there? He was like, "What? Free ice cream?
Wait a minute, ice cream! Hold on." All right. Well, now we got that out of the way, that was our week. We did stuff. We did it, and yeah, let's get in this with Taxi Phil. You ready for this thing?
Yeah. So we got a really cool little ditty to play before we bring Phil in. So we want you guys to check this really cool video out, and then we'll dive right into Phil here.
Yeah. So this is the hype video for the 2022 Beards on the Bend. So amazing. So coming up this weekend, the September 24th at 5 p.m. Eastern in Pomeroy, Ohio, it's the 2022 Beards on the Bend, brought to you by the Big Bend Beardsman. So many B's. My gosh. Just bring him in here. Mr. Taxi Phil himself.
What's up, afternoon, sir? Or good evening, gentlemen.
Wow. Do you just look like... You're just the most handsome man in bearding right now.
Well, it's a hard job, but somebody's got to do it. Especially since Jim Jones ain't next to me. Otherwise, we'll be okay.
Are you doing all right that Jim Jones is not next to you? Are you okay?
Yeah, I can handle it. Okay. But now I want to make something very clear about this South Dakota competition there, Aaron.
It was rigged.
Well, dead presidents really works with the judges.
I mean, good. I mean, those
With
judges.
the right amount of dead presidents, anything can happen.
So you're saying that Andrew paid off the judges?
I'm not saying Andrew paid off the judges. I'm just saying that I got free ice cream out of the deal.
Oh, the plot thickens. Not only did he have a suit in his pocket, he also had ice cream in his pocket.
Oh, yeah. He had a pickle in the other pocket.
Okay.
Wow.
I don't know where that came from, but I had to go there.
I mean, probably from his pocket.
Probably.
There you go.
So, Taxi Phil, you're all over the place. You're basically just gonna travel with me for the next few months.
Yes, sir. I'm the Aaron Johnson Jr. over here.
Apparently, so you're gonna be doing something at this event.
Yes, sir. I'll be emceeing the event there in Pomeroy. The Big Ben's Beerman, and you're right, it's very hard to say.
Super hard to say.
Yeah, it is. We'll just call the BBB from here on out.
The BBB.
It's like the Better Business Bureau.
There you go. Better Bureau.
Yeah, the BBB of Pomeroy.
Yeah. So, I mean, these guys, they do a great job, man. I mean, they've only been around a few years, and they've really stepped up their game. The competition they put on, they do a Square One as the charity they're using, and it's a resources for abused women. Domestic abuse women and stuff. So that's a really good thing. At the same time, there's like the steamboat days are going on. There's, it's just really, really cool. And they've worked so hard.
Here's the website for Square One. It's square1gm.com. There's a little bit of information about what it is. It's a domestic, it's a shelter for domestic violence. And also we have, I'll bring this up too, because as you said, there is also the Ohio River Stern Wheel Festival. I've never even heard of this before. I'm from Ohio, but
you're not. You're from Cleveland.
Well,
wow, that's where the
Guardians by the lake up there. So
you're right. The mistake by the lake. I mean, we do have like the best football team in the world. But yeah, no, I've never heard of that. Tell us a little bit about what the Sternwheel Festival is, even though I know you're not here to talk about this.
No. It's really a cool event. Is when they bring in these boats from all over the areas, and you get to go on the boats and check them out. That's like the old boats they used for the riverboat days.
Okay.
Where you go on the cruises and stuff like that.
Wow.
You have dinner cruises and lunch cruises and dance cruises. They get you to go through the boats and all that kind of stuff and see what's actually going on. Fireworks. They got all kinds of really neat stuff for the 3 days that it's going on up there. And for Pomeroy, this is really a huge deal.
Yeah, because Pomeroy is a really small town, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's a big river town. It's exactly halfway between Pittsburgh and Cincinnati on the Ohio River. So that's where they'd all stop along the way to get all their supplies and their fuel to finish up the ride.
Look at this opening ceremony, ring of the start of the festival Friday on the Ohio River. Look at this. They have a car show. The Queen's going to be there. Little Miss and Mr. Sternwheel is going to be there. Live music, fireworks. Even Tom Cruise is going to be there, I hear.
Well, it is a cruise.
Yeah.
But I mean, what's so neat about it is they combined the beard competition with this festival. And it's all in their brochures and everything. I mean, people from the festival also come to see the competition, to see what the heck's going on, see what the bearding world's all about.
I would think it would be really cool to do a freestyle beard in the shape of one of these old steamboats. That would be
a brilliant idea. Do the paddle wheelers.
Yeah. I'm giving someone a free idea there. They could split the beard right down the middle and then do big wheels on the side.
Jim Jones says it's like a street fair on the river.
Yes, sir. Yes, it's exactly what it is.
Have you ever been to this festival before the Big Bend Beardsmen got involved?
No, sir, I had not. I will not lie to you. I had never heard of Pomeroy before. And if you look at the state of Ohio, where Cincinnati is, Pomeroy is the exact opposite. We're as far southwest as you can get. They're as far southeast as you can get. And Cincinnati, if you make a wrong turn, you're in Kentucky or Indiana.
Yeah.
Right. So
Over there, you make a wrong turn, you're in West Virginia or Pennsylvania.
Yeah, so you do all right if you got a wrong turn in Cincinnati, but you're totally messing up if you take a wrong turn in
Yeah,
Pomeroy.
you go over to the Mothman or something over there.
My God. Don't mess up in Pomeroy.
Yeah. Pomeroy is beautiful downtown. They do a great job. And Travis and Jason and Ricky, they get knocking this thing out of the ballpark. I mean, they do a lot of community projects. They do a lot of things in the area. They do wall cleanups, and it's really a good group of guys and gals.
Yeah. So Jason writes, unfortunately, all of that was last weekend in Marietta. So speaking of Marietta, my niece goes to, or she went to Marietta University, and they have a big paddle wheel boat thing, almost probably pretty much like what's going on there on that end of the river. So I think they're just taking all the boats all the way to the other side of the river now.
Yes, sir. We used to have here, we had the tall stacks. They're bringing all the big boys used to come in here. And they did it every other year for about 4 or 5 years. And then the committee was losing money. And imagine this, somebody went out there, and what they do, they put the patent or whatever it is on the name. So they would be charged to use that name.
And then just ruin the whole thing.
So, yeah, we don't have it anymore. When they had it, we would have about 20 boats who would come in from all over the country. They'd have races up and down the river for us and the Belle of Louisville would have a race.
How long ago was that?
They probably haven't had one for about 15 years.
Wow.
So it's been a minute. So Jason's saying that all that's not, I guess the boats aren't showing up, aren't going to be there in Pomeroy this weekend, I assume.
No. Last weekend, there was another boat festival more towards kind of more in Marietta, which is east of Cincinnati. It's on the Ohio River if you get on the Ohio River in Cincinnati and you head towards Pomeroy, you go through Marietta.
Right. And the boats are going from there. Yeah. They'll stop at Pomeroy on their way back home.
Yes.
Back to Charleston.
So they will be there this weekend.
Yes, sir. They'll be there.
Because there's a festival for it, idiot.
Well, I know, but it said I was on board until he said, unfortunately, all of that was last weekend in Marietta.
Well, because the
boats are making their way back to Charleston, West Virginia, and make a stop in Pomeroy.
Yes.
Right.
So the way I read it was, he said, unfortunately, all of that was last weekend, referring to what we were talking about.
Right. But this weekend coming up is also a great time, a great show with all the boats and stuff. What it is, these guys can't make it all in one trip. They have to stop along the way to refuel it and to restock and everything.
Because they burn coal, man.
That nice, clean coal.
They should just burn nuclear power, and then they wouldn't have to.
We could put solar panels on them, and they can make about 3 blocks.
Yep. There you go, Jim Jones. Definitely been accused of that one a time or two. All right, let's get back on track, Taxi Phil.
All righty.
You said that they had a really good MC. How about the judges for this event up there?
They've got some superstars coming in for this thing.
Gosh. Let's hear
some of them, you got Patrick. We all know Patrick. You can't get any bigger name than Patrick.
Fetty.
And Joe does a great job. He's a great guy. Amber, I don't know about Amber. She's okay. But you don't even want to mention Forrest. Forrest Higgins is one of the greatest things that ever happened in the bearding world. He just happened to show up one day, and the world has just been different ever since.
I mean, I'm super glad that Forrest found this community. I've really enjoyed learning
that guy
about him over the last year or so. It's been a fun ride with him.
Oh yeah, I mean it's amazing. We got lucky and found him, and we got lucky that he joined the Beard Barons. It was a fight between us and the Big Ben Beardsman. But
how much?
It's a 3-hour drive. So
how much did you pay Forrest to join your club instead of?
Oh, nothing. We paid Amanda.
Oh, smart. There you go. That's pretty.
You got to influence the wives. Who cares about us? If you can influence the wife, you're in good business.
That's smart. See, that's why you've been around so long, Taxi Phil. You know all the ins and outs of life.
Yeah, make the women happy. Everything is a great thing.
The game of life. That's a great game.
Yeah, so we touched on the charity. What's the venue like there in Pomeroy? Is this an outdoor event? Is it an indoor event?
No. It's really cool. It's I'm gonna get in trouble for this one.
Uh-oh.
I believe it's the American Legion
Okay,
or the VFW. It's one of those.
but
And
it's
on
right
the
there in
second
town.
floor. They got a nice big balcony, and out front we overlook the river, and you can see all the boats and stuff. The surfers there last year, they didn't know what hit them. They had no clue, and they succeeded. They did a great job. There was one lady cooking all by herself, and she did great. She kept up, but yeah, they had no idea what to expect.
Well,
And
whatever
if
it
I remember
is,
right, they might have ran out of beer.
whatever it is at 224 East Main Street. So
It
just go
is.
there and whatever the building is, just go inside. It'll be fine.
Yeah, it's on the second floor. It's the Eagles. Is
Yeah,
what it is.
Pomeroy
I'm sorry.
Eagles.
Yeah.
Eagles.
Yeah. Well,
Eagles.
it could be a groundhog. I don't know.
What is the Bengals? Come on,
Fraternal
get
Order
it
of
right.
Eagles. It's like on the main drag right there. You can't miss it. There's only like 8 buildings in Pomeroy. That's where the Pomeranian dog is from. Did you know that?
No.
Oh yeah,
Invented right there in Pomeroy.
right there in Pomeroy. It was invented right
Right on
there.
Main
Two
Street.
guys, they had a
Oh.
little, they had their little chemist set, and they stirred up a bunch of stuff, and then
So Pomeroy. It wasn't a very big chemistry set because
No.
Pomeroy came out.
yeah,
like,
well,
oh,
I mean, they're
gosh.
small dogs.
Darn it, they got
Right.
short legs.
Yeah, and they got some really good raffle items. There's a young lady. She was there last year. Her name is Halo, and she's a young artist. And I mean, she's just a kid, and the stuff she did was amazing. And Ron Rice's daughter is going to be there, and she does a bunch of taxidermy artwork and stuff. So that's always a good thing to see the kids out there doing stuff. They do have a kids category, so that's always a good thing.
So you were talking about all that, but I mean, you can just go right along with the whole event. Not only does they're really good art with the beer competition, you go outside and there's still a street festival going on. So
Oh,
there's
yeah.
there's probably art out there too. So you can
It's everywhere.
load up.
It's a small town, and everybody in the town is involved. That was so cool.
Yeah, it's always cool. Like when there's other events. Like, I mean, you got a really cool beard event. It sounds like going on in the evening, and then you have all these other activities that you could spend a whole entire day checking things out, doing things, seeing things, experiencing things. Obviously, it sounds like it's a type of event that a lot of people haven't experienced before, especially seeing these riverboats and stuff like that. And I mean, that's something I've never experienced. I mean, most of the riverboats that I've seen were on the Ozarks on Netflix, but that's about it.
What's really nice too about there, you want to come in early, like on Friday. You can spend all 3 days there and get the opportunity to do all those things. And the community, there's all kinds of little antique stores and art stores and craft stores and stuff you can check out. Good restaurants. It's a really nice little town, and we take over the town.
Is there an ice cream store there, Phil?
So unfortunately, there is.
Oh,
Okay, that's good. Do they have
there
donuts there at this ice cream store?
Yeah. And the weather's supposed to be beautiful this weekend.
All right.
Your ice cream is not going to melt in 2 seconds. It'll take a lot longer for the ice cream to melt.
It don't last. If you eat it right, it doesn't melt.
Oh.
Andrew asked the best question right here, Taxi Phil.
Yes, sir.
He said, which has a better raffle, BBB or CBB?
Well, you know me. I'm a little prejudiced. The lovely Mrs. Jones handles the raffle table here.
Yeah.
We got a rocking raffle table. There's no question. There's no question. They do a good job. Don't get me wrong. There ain't a raffle table out there that touches ours.
No.
John McClure's for ice cream.
Oh, yeah. Man, I knew
There you
that.
go. Matt McLear.
Me and Matt, we go way back.
Whoa.
We went to different schools together.
Yeah. I also went to different schools with him. This is
There you
crazy.
go.
Such a small world.
It
know.
is.
But
Mr. Brad said he's going to eat some ice cream in honor of Phil.
I just had a bowl.
A bowl?
Yeah,
That's
well,
cheap.
it's too late to go to the ice cream joint. I was waiting for you guys, so I had to eat a bowl real quick. And see, we just at the end of the ice cream season here in Cincinnati, because being where we live, and not like Texas, where we are here in the north, you have ice cream season for soft serve. And usually October 1st is about the cutoff. But there's a couple of them that had to close early because all the kids go back to school that work there and stuff.
Yeah.
So I went to 2 today while I was delivering, and both of them were closed, and I wasn't happy.
No, if you deprive Phil of his ice cream,
I came home and made a bowl.
Well, Brad's doing a pint right now himself. So
there you go. Way to go.
We should have an ice cream social.
They got good ice cream up there.
Detroit ice cream.
So where did the ice cream thing start, Taxi Phil? Where did you get this fascination with ice cream cones and the posts and
I just started posting it one day. It was like, oh, what the heck? Let's have some fun, because Facebook's supposed to be fun.
Absolutely,
that's what it's supposed to be about. But I started eating soft serve out there on the Carnival Midways many years ago, and there was a friend of ours that had an ice cream trailer. So it was like every day you'd go by, and actually what we would do is we would trade a caramel apple for an ice cream cone. And it worked out pretty good.
Right.
So it just got, we eat them all the time. So now we try to, here I know where they all are. But traveling every town, you want to try to find the best soft serve. I'll eat hard dip or hand dip, they call it, but I prefer soft serve.
Wow. Did you ever try to mix ice cream with a caramel apple?
Yeah. But you deep fry the apple. This is pretty sad. This is pretty dangerous.
I could imagine.
In the carnival business, you core the apple, you take it and you batter it in funnel cake mix. You deep fry it. Okay. You deep fry it really good. You throw it on a plate. You put the the powdered sugar on it. Then you add the ice cream. Then you add the caramel on top of that. You drizzle caramel all over it.
Wow.
It's
my teeth hurt.
Yeah. It's real good. And I'm going to be a smart aleck here and hope you all don't mind, because I don't. One of the people used to ask us all the time in the carnival business, how do you come up with all these fried foods? What gives you these crazy ideas? Well, the honest answer is it's a cold, rainy day, and we're not making any money. We go get safe, as most people we're talking about there. Mm-hmm. And you come back from your safety meeting, and you go, dude, I'll bet you if we dip this and fry it, that'll be really good. So you eat it. And it's really good. So then you have someone who has not been to a safety meeting try it. And if they like it too, then you start selling the thing.
But you got to do the trial on the person that didn't go to the safety meeting.
Correct.
To see if your brain's right or what's going on.
No matter what it is, because after you've been to a safety meeting, everything pretty well tastes good.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially ice cream.
Oh yeah.
All right. So let's do a quick recap of this event.
Okay.
When is this event again?
It'll be this coming Saturday.
Oh my!
That's the 24th, in Pomeroy, Ohio, which is as far east as you can get in the state, southeast as you can get in the state. They've got, I believe it's 15 different categories. It is at the Eagles, at the Pomeroy Eagles, not to be confused with the VFW, the American Legion. There's a riverboat show going on at the same time. I think it's called paddle boat or paddle wheelers, maybe. It's a great time. These guys do a great job. And the only downfall with the whole event is Jason Underhill. Besides that, everything else is fantastic.
Yeah, everything else goes just fine except for him. He's from France, I think. His name has.
He puts a little thing over his name, so it must be.
Yep, must be. That's the only thing.
And he's my cousin, so that's even worse.
Oh my gosh, your cousin's from France? Are you from France?
No. I'm from Cincinnati. I'm from Erlanger, Kentucky.
Oh, okay, yeah, smart.
What about ticket prices? Would you know anything about that? Competitor and spectator.
I'm embarrassed to say I don't know, but I'm sure somebody will pop it up here in about a second. I think it's $15. I'm not positive, so I don't take that to the bank. I know that they do accept cash and cards, so everything there is really great. Unfortunately, I don't know the answer, and I apologize for that.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to look myself real quick because I had just seen it anyways. Because while we were getting
spectators are free.
Spectators are free.
$25 per category.
$25 per category. That's cheap.
$20.
Look at it.
$20 to register. $5 each additional category. If you bring a new stuffed animal, you'll receive $5 off a registration or a second free category.
Very nice. Now that video we saw in the beginning, Ricky Hassel did that.
I was wondering. So there you go. Ricky,
that was cool, wasn't it?
Dude, you did such a good job on that video, man. I've watched that thing a bunch of times. It's super cool. Good job.
Yeah, he did a fantastic job. And
there you go.
There you go. There you go. Put all them little dots over my name.
Yeah, you're so fancy now.
Oh, yeah. I can charge extra.
Dot those vowels.
But yeah, you don't want to miss this weekend. You'll have a great time there. I tell you, I mean, they got great judges. You know, the venue, like I said, the venue is really a nice room. And you have a big balcony that overlooks the river. You have all the boats and stuff down below you and a lot of shopping.
I like this. It's just a shame about their MC. That's the only thing that's like.
One of these days they'll find a good one.
One day. I mean, that's the only thing. It's like every event has to have that one thing that's not really that good. That's just okay.
They have a holler category and a sea hopper.
Well, I mean, that's terrible. I just said not pretty good. And that's, the MC was just.
Yeah, the MC's he's slacking. He's working on it, though. If he gets more practice, if more competitions would ask him to come and do them, you get more practice.
There you go. So that's this weekend, Pomeroy, Ohio. Let's do the hard cut there. So that's this weekend, Pomeroy, Ohio, coming up September 24th. So let's just break this and just act like we have a new guest. So tonight we have an all new guest that hasn't already been on the show at all. And we're going to talk about a brand new event and with definitely a different guest than we already had. So tonight we have Mr. Taxi Phil Jones. He is the president of the Cincinnati Beard Barons, and they'll be putting on their event next weekend, October 1st. Doors are at 5 p.m. Eastern, I do believe, and that will be in Newport, Kentucky. It is the Big Whisker Revival VIII. It is in Cahoots with Honest Amish. I like that. There we go. So let's just dive into this thing. Mr.
How you guys doing this evening?
Hey. Oh, my goodness. It's so good to
I've seen you since last week out there in South Dakota.
I know, man. It's been a long drive, but we're here, and we're here to.
It was a long drive, and it was a fun drive, too.
Boy, are my arms tired.
I got to drive with Jim Jones and Timmy Whiteshoes. They ain't nothing better in the world.
Oh, my God. I'm sorry. I'm sure that was very entertaining, but it was a long drive.
Extremely entertaining. There's no question.
We Jim Jones and I talked about that a little bit in South Dakota. I think me and him are going to take a road trip together next year. I'm going to one weekend where Natalie can't go. I'm going to pick up Jim Jones and I told him all he's got to do is just talk to me the whole way and tell me some Jim Jones stories. And I'm very much.
Yeah, they're great stories. Between us, poor Timmy Whiteshoe sits in the back seat and just goes, "Oh shit, there they go."
Oh, here we go.
How is Timmy doing? I haven't seen Timmy in years. How's he been?
He's Timmy Two Beards now.
Well, I know. Timmy Two Beards.
Timmy Two Beards, also with white shoes, except for on Friday nights where he wears Birkenstocks. But both times he's still Two Beards. Whoa. And it looks amazing. I will say
he's got good looking chops too, man. They look really good.
I don't use that lightly. Like he has really good chops. Like they look super.
I mean, it's almost as bad as a whaler category.
Nothing's that bad. Nothing's that bad. If you shave off your mustache, you might as well go home.
Sea Hop Squad.
Chop Squad.
So yeah, this in 2 weeks, not this upcoming weekend, you have your 8th annual.
Yes, sir. 8th annual Big Whisker Revival. It's at the Southgate House Revival over in Newport, Kentucky on 6th Street. It's an old church turned into a music venue.
I'm so grateful that it's at the same venue. This is I've said it every time I've ever talked to you on this program, but that is the coolest venue I think that anybody could ever have an event in, period. It's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, the big stained glass windows and everything. Beautiful. That's where, because of being an old church, is why we went the revival. It wasn't because of the name of the building. Our original one was the Octo Beard Fest. And that was the same time as the Oktoberfest there in Cincinnati. But this one is our 8th annual in this one. And the owner, Morella, is just a sweetheart. At the end of the day, when we check up that night, she looks at me and goes, "What day next year?"
There you go. You can't beat that.
No. And I'll say, "Well, she said, no, you pick the day." She said, "It's your choice. It's whatever day you want."
you got to love that when you build a rapport with a venue that they pretty much give you carte blanche on. You're the one who's telling them when you're going to be there because they believe in your event, and your event does their venue so well that it's that's a good status to get to.
Yeah, we got lucky. Paul Naper introduced us to the place originally. He's one of the founding members of the club, and he had been working there. And we went, we talked to her and stuff, and she was a little hesitant, like anybody is,
right?
Until they know what we do and see what we do. After the first year, she was like, "Are you guys coming back next year?" Like, yeah, we're gonna do it one more time. After that, it was, we're done. And then what we've done is we've locked down the first Saturday in October with her. So next the 23, it's on the 7th. So we're already booked.
That first Saturday is.
Yeah, we're already booked. And I told her the only reason, and then she explained to us, she said, "Hey, listen, if the Rolling Stones want to play the venue on that day," I said, "I would understand that."
Yeah, we'll have to figure something else out.
Yeah, we'd be the opening act.
There you go. We'll move the competition to like 10 a.m. It'll be
right.
fun.
Well, it starts the doors open at 7. Music starts at 6. We got Moonshine and Wine. He's played every single one of these. He's a volunteer guy. He don't charge us nothing. He's also a member. He's also a pro disc golfer, to tell you the truth. And it's a guitar and a fiddle, and they just play musical music. It's really great. Last year, she couldn't make it, so it was just him. During the night, 7 of the songs he played, he made up as they were playing.
What?
Yeah.
Wow.
He would start playing. He would go, okay, there's what he'd make the song up. It'd be about the venue, somebody in the venue, about anything. It was really interesting. So that he plays from 6 to 7. And that's when the event actually starts at 7. We also have a group in another room. We have the whole building. And there's another room off to the back that guitars for vets play in. And part of a therapy for these veterans, they teach them how to play the guitar.
Oh,
and
cool.
when they graduate, they get a guitar. And Sonny Mormon, who's one of the blues kings from Cincinnati area, teaches these guys to play. He takes his time to work with these gentlemen. And then so all night they're playing blues back there in that room all night long. So we started at 7. And last year, Aaron, you saw what we did last year. It was the first time we'd ever done it.
Yep.
We would bring all the veterans up on stage. And we honor all the veterans. And then, in honor of those who didn't make it home, we play taps. And as anybody knows, as soon as taps playing, if you don't bring tears to your eyes, there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, that's a tough
and then we do the national anthem. And this year, we're going to have a veterans category. So we're going to do it right then while we have them all on stage.
Nice.
And then we go through our 15 categories. We have like you said, we have a small raffle table. We're going to have a special raffle table this year. We came up with the idea with tubs of fun. And it is a wash tub full of liquor, of bottles of liquor. Not just dump liquor into it. It's full of bottles of liquor. Well, the Barracks Project, who's the charity we support, challenged us to see if we can collect the most bottles. So they're going to have a tub also. So there'll be 2 tubs on there.
Oof.
And it's going to be, that'll be one raffle item is this giant tub.
So we're asking all of our other bearded friends and everybody else, bring bottles so that we can win this thing. And it's going to be $10 a ticket for that. And you get 3 for $20.
Wow.
Tickets for that one.
So
on the raffle table, we're going with the sheets this year.
Okay.
For the one, the one sheet. You get 25 tickets for $20.
Yeah.
You get 2 sheets for 30. And then we always do a couple live auction items. We do Beard Baron of the Year award. It's presented every year. The Barracks Project. This is one of the greatest groups you've ever met in your life. It's 100% volunteers, 100%. And what they do is they try to get veterans acclimated back to civilian life before they hit the streets. They help them find jobs. They get them ready for the jobs. They do mock interviews. They make sure they have the proper clothing, all that kind of stuff. If a veteran wants help, they're there to do it. They've got 3 houses that have been donated to them, and they've went in and rehabbed the houses, and they'll put these guys up until they get on their feet and get going again. They also help. I can't say senior citizens anymore because I am one, but they also help some of the older veterans that they work in the yard or help paint the house and things like that. And they started a new project last year, I believe it was, to where if an active service person can get leave at Christmas but can't afford to get home, they'll make sure they get home.
That's awesome.
Yeah, they'll figure out a way to get them there. And I mean, these guys, they started, 6-7 years ago. Felicia said, I want to do this, and her husband was active at the time in the military. And, she said, these guys need help. She saw what it was like out there, and there was nobody to help them. And they will do their best to do what they can. It's been a great group to work with. One of our goals has been from the beginning of our group is to find a charity, local, small charity, that you see where the money goes.
Yeah.
And that 5, 10,000, whatever you get, give them means something. And they can really put it to help them out. Like I've always said, God bless the American Red Cross. God bless the Cancer Society. $5,000 to them ain't, they don't need it. They have other guys to help them out for that. These groups here, if you'll notice in the bearded community, 90% of the clubs are doing that. They're keeping it local and they're trying to help out smaller groups and stuff.
And I think that's really important is helping the local charities out. Like you said, it good for the Red Cross doing what they're doing and stuff. But our little $5,000-$10,000 beer competition contributions isn't going to make or break those guys. It's cool to work with a group. Like $5,000 makes a big difference with that group.
And they genuinely appreciate it, and their appreciation shows to the clubs. And that's what that is, I think, my favorite thing about the bearding community is the clubs and the people that find these small groups that really need the help.
Like Timmy said, you can see it working.
Yeah.
You see where you see every penny goes.
Yep.
I'm going to get one of them cool microphones one of these days.
You should. I mean, you should probably do some type of show because, I mean,
you got stories.
We all know.
The Taxi Phil podcast.
Oh, dude, I'd listen.
I would listen to it too. Well, seriously, if you want to do it, I'll help you get it all started up.
Here's an idea. We'll do the Taxi Phil, Jim Jones, Semi White Shoes traveling podcast. We'll do it from the truck while we're driving.
Aaron and I were actually just talking about that. Like after we got our pre-show done with you, he was telling me about him talking to Jim. And then I'm like, you need to record this. Like get a camera in the car. It'd be so easy to do.
Yeah. Wasn't it Jerry Steinfeld did
comedians
coffee with somebody or something?
Yeah. Just that. Yeah, there you go. Just record everything and then chop up the good parts and throw away the bad parts and then put it all together and voila, you got a show.
Oh, yeah. There'd be a lot cut. I'll guarantee you that much.
Yeah, probably a lot of y'all stuff you couldn't show.
Yeah, there'd be a lot cut.
Mike says that's what he loves about the bearding community. He says he wishes he joined earlier. But I mean, the thing is thank goodness you're here now and you're here to help make a difference with whatever community you're involved in or with whatever community that you're going to an event with. That's what it's all about.
If we don't get new blood into this thing, it's not going to last. And that's what's so great is we're getting all these newer people coming in, especially some of the younger people are coming in and getting involved.
That's one thing
getting involved. They're doing stuff. They're taking care of business. Because otherwise it's going to go away, if we don't get new blood.
Yeah.
That's one thing I always try to push all the events, and I'm going to say it here again. You don't need to just focus on competitors. People need to really focus on spectators. So spectators will show up to these events and be like, oh, this beard thing's super cool. And then new people get involved. I think people get in their head that they only focus on competitors. And yeah, that's great. You need competitors at your event. But if you get 40 competitors, try to get 240 spectators. And a couple of those people may come back next year with a beard to compete.
Right. And
so it's a revolving thing here.
Most folks don't even know what this is. And once they show up at one of our competitions, we're lucky. We have like the Bach Fest, the big festival here this spring. Mm-hmm. We do a competition there. We do a couple church festivals. We have one coming up Thursday night before our event at the Aurora Farmers Fair. Nice. And our guys will show up and we'll put a competition together and they see what's going on.
Yep.
And then you get them involved and they come to an event and they go, I just met 200 of my best friends. It's amazing that people, when they walk away from one of these events, are going, damn, these guys are pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're having fun, and they're nice. And I guess I got started in this a long time ago. And when we first got started is when Phil Olsen came back from Germany and he started Whisker Wars and all that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And back then it wasn't for charity, as
Not
much,
really.
and the main thing was trying to get people to realize just because you had a beard, you weren't a gangster, you weren't a pirate, you weren't, we were just normal dudes out there. And then it built into the charity. And from there, it's gone wild.
Yep.
You've been around a long time. You've seen what it's done. It went from a little podunk in a bar, 2 shows a month to last weekend there was 4 this side of the Mississippi.
Oh my gosh, dude. It's blowing up. I think what we count, Scott, like
there's 18 in the month of October.
Yeah.
So crazy.
And between the 3 of us, we're probably going to 19 of them. And Jim just made a comment. They're in South Dakota, right? We're in Sioux Falls, North Dakota. We're at a restaurant called the Frying Pan. We just ordered dinner. There's a table behind us. There's a lady and her kids are sitting there. And all of a sudden, here comes this lady over. She's, excuse me, guys. And as we all know, we're waiting for the questions. We know what they are. It's like, your mustache, your beard, this and that. This lady looks at us and goes, are you from Cincinnati? Yes, ma'am. She goes, we follow you on Facebook. I'm like, dude, what? She goes, yeah, we follow you on Facebook. One of our friends found it and turned me on to it. I watch you guys all the time. We're like, how in the hell does somebody in Sioux Falls, South Dakota? And she was 2 hours from there. He just had to be in town for something. It had to be in that restaurant the same time we were. And it's just amazing.
You're worldwide, Taxi Phil.
Yeah, well, it's just amazing. All of us are. That the community is. And how much it's changed in the 15 years I've been doing this. There's not too many of us old timers left.
Let's dive back a little bit into the competition again. Let's talk about we didn't discuss the judges, MCs, any of that cool fun stuff about the event.
Okay, well, we are the judging panel's not too shabby this year. We tried to represent a lot of the different categories this time. So we got George Kelly, as you guys know, one of the biggest, reddest beards you've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's just out there. Great guy. And he's from here in Ohio. And then somebody from them damn Detroit Murder Club up there. And that's Jason Timble. That's a 2 beards right there.
That's 2 beards right there.
That's 2 beards right there.
That's what Timmy White Shoes is aspiring to be.
Yes. Yeah. No, Timmy don't ever be that long. But that's a beautiful set of chops he's got. I know. And then let me think. Who else do we got? We have a lovely young lady from LaPelle, Indiana.
Okay.
I think her name is Melissa Crafton. And she's
never heard of her.
What a great person, man.
Is she new?
Rocks, she's everything anybody ever wanted to be. She's just good people, all around. And then there's a guy that's trying to grow a mustache. He's working on it, and he's trying to get that English together. And now he's in that musketeer state, And Eddie. And I always pronounce his name wrong. So one of you guys go ahead and pronounce it properly.
Yeah. What do you think it is?
Oh, it's Kippinger, but it ain't right.
Eddie Kippinger.
Yeah, it ain't close.
It's like Henry.
Yeah. Eddie Kimmerling. Do you
Kimmerling.
know?
I know that.
You know
but I like
drives...
calling him wrong. I call Travis Dinner the wrong thing every time too.
Travis Dinner. I like it.
Yeah, I call him all the time.
We're all about calling people by the wrong names.
Oh,
on
yeah.
this show,
I got it down to an art, to tell you the truth.
I've never done that, ever.
And then we have this little short dude. And in my opinion, gentlemen, if you want to meet a hero, you will meet him there.
Absolutely.
Christopher Wilson.
Yeah, we love Christopher a lot.
Oh, he's a medic.
And
he was in the sandbox for quite a bit of time over there. And anybody in the military will tell you the biggest balls out there is the medics. These guys are unbelievable. The things they do to get you home, and get you out of harm's way. These guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
He might be little in stature, but he's a big ass heart, one of the greatest people you'll ever meet.
Yeah, he's an awesome dude.
Fantastic.
He's not a medic anymore, just so you know.
Well, he's a doc now.
He's just a
We call him
doctor.
a doc.
Natalie and
Yeah.
I had a conversation with him not that long ago. And we were talking about how he was a medic and stuff. He was like, "Yeah, I'm not a medic anymore." And we're like, "Crap." But
Yeah, he still is.
he still is in heart.
Yeah, trust me, he would go into a burning building to get you out. No question
absolutely, yeah. But
and I mean, the only problem is, like always, he's got a wife that's just she's okay.
I never even heard of his wife.
Well, she's mediocre.
Is she around?
Yeah, she comes around sometimes just to cause problems.
Corey, something like that.
Yeah, Corey, she's and dude, let me tell you something. Seriously, again, well, she's a fantastic individual. You ever get a prayer group? She's one to call.
There you go.
Get you in a prayer circle, you wouldn't believe. She works for monks.
Yeah, she does.
Yeah. She works for a group of monks.
That's so crazy.
When Sandy's mom was doing bad, she said, "We got this," and all them monks are praying for her every day. So that's a great thing there. And then the MC, again, you go for all them great judges. Then you have this mediocre MC that shows up again.
Mediocre at best.
Oh, at the best. I tell you, I mean, I don't even know how anybody puts up with the guy. I'm really surprised anybody in the bearding world even talks to him.
Well, I heard that he's the president of the club, so he can just pick himself to be the MC and nobody can say anything about it.
Pretty much.
That's what Timmy Whiteshoes told me. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, again, dead presidents.
There you go.
You keep paying people the right amount of money, you can do a lot of things. So, yeah, I mean, we are so lucky to have this competition, have this club that we've gotten. We started out with 4 or 5 guys in 2012, and we built what we have now. And we probably got about 50 to 60 members. And I see you, Timmy. So we didn't even, and we built up like 50, 60 members.
That's awesome. Did I realize you had that
20 to 25 that are there all the time. Always putting it out, but the rest of them always there for support. So it's a great thing.
Good for y'all.
All right. So we want to wrap this up, but there's a story that we want to hear. Aaron was telling about the story that you were sharing with them, and he goes, but it's a long one. So basically what we want to do is wrap up. We're going to wrap up talking about the event right now, which is happening on October 1st in 2 weeks. Just give us a quick recap on it about the big Whisker Revival Ocho.
The doors open at 5 p.m. Competition starts at 7. It's $20 to get in the door. It's $5 extra for every category you want to do. You can do as many categories as you want.
And there are no
pre-sales. We're doing them. It's been tied. We have been at 8 categories done 3 times. We have a great raffle table. We have music in the beginning. We have music in the other room all night long. As you said, the venue's beautiful. And it's a great time. A lot of fun.
Absolutely.
Last year, I think we raised a little bit over $10,000 last year. Our goal is to beat that like always. If you'd like to bring a bottle to donate, that's fine. We also have, I forgot about this, I'm sorry, is fill the barrel. We have a big 55-gallon drum. So if you would please bring some cleaning supplies or some non-perishables. They go to Matthew's 25 Ministries, and they always help the people in distress. They'll go at the floods or hurricanes or anything out like that. They're always there to help them out. So we have that going for us.
Unopened pints of ice cream.
Unopened pints of ice cream. Well, we better go ahead and eat that so it doesn't melt.
Oh. Yeah.
Or you can do the Diggin' Dots or whatever the hell they're called. That they don't melt.
Aaron likes the Dippin' Dots.
I love Dippin' Dots.
Yeah, Dippin' Dots. You can do those if you need to. But yeah, besides, like I said, I mean, this is one of those competitions you don't want to miss.
Absolutely, yeah.
I'm not saying this because I'm there. I'm just telling you because it's a great competition.
Well,
I 100% will say that.
Right here, it's coined. It's coined as the biggest, the baddest, and the best facial hair competition in the country.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you saw it on Facebook, it's got to be real.
Yeah.
Facts.
It's true.
Everything on social media is complete facts.
100%.
Yep.
There's no fake news out there anywhere.
Never.
No fair. It's real.
All right, cool. So that's happening October 1st in Kentucky. So if you need any more information about it, you can find some information in the show notes below. Southgate House Revival, Newport, Kentucky. So thank you, Phil, for that. But we want to, all right, so Aaron was telling us, so
I told him very briefly of the
Yeah.
story you told me and Andrew about how you and King Charles are BFFs.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah. We
this
go
all
way back. I was supposed to go to the coordination, but instead I'm here with you guys because this is more important.
Yeah, so if everyone knows what's been going on in the world with the Queen dying, and there's been for the past week they've been doing
10
her
days
body.
of mourning.
Yeah, it's. So when I was back home visiting my parents, my mom was glued to the TV every day, all day long, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But I mean, my mom, that's what she likes. She's into that. I mean, she was getting up in the middle of the night when Princess Diana got married, and then
she was a great lady, and it's the only royalty we've ever known, the only Queen any of us have ever known.
Queen
and she's done a great job for what she does.
But yeah, so there's a story here now. When Aaron started telling me the story, I started laughing. I'm like, dude, I want to hear this story from Phil himself, and everyone needs to hear.
I'll give you the Reader's Digest version.
Yeah, let's get the non-hour-long version.
Yeah, the Reader's Digest version. Yeah, I am working at Omni Netherland Plaza in Cincinnati, Ohio. I'm the doorman there, and that's where I started growing the mustache. The general manager came down. He said, "Hey, I like your mustache. How about if you start curling it? Put a little wax in there." I'm like, "Do what?" So he talked me into wearing it. So I started wearing it. Well, I was pretty good at that job. I got a lot of compliments and stuff. It was always the guy with the mustache, the guy with the handlebars were always the answers. So I come to work one day, and there's a note on my locker. Go see Mr. Kinney. That's the GM. Go see Mr. Kinney before you change. What the hell do I do now? I must have did something stupid. So I go downstairs, and at that time, they were called secretaries. She says, "Phil, he's been waiting for you all day. Go right on in." Man, something ain't right. I go in. He says, "Have a seat." I said, "Okay, I guess I'm fired again." So here, let's see what's going on here. And he says, "All right." He says, "Listen, I have a letter here from the CEO of the president of the North American operations of the Omni Hotels." I said, "Yes, sir." He says, "The Prince of Wales has come to the United States." I said, "Okay." He says, "He's going to be staying on our property in Charleston, South Carolina." All right. He says, "You've been requested to be his doorman." I said, "Excuse me?" He said, "You've been requested to be his personal doorman." I'm like, "Yeah, sure I was." He goes, "No, I'm serious." He said, "I know you got to discuss with your family and make sure it's all okay and everything." I said, "Do I leave today?" He says, "Oh, no, it's in a week." I said, "Yeah, I'll leave when I see the airplane ticket." After the airplane ticket. So I go to Charleston, South Carolina. So I'm there at the hotel, and we have this big meeting with there was like 100 or 200 other people brought in. And I was the only one front of house. Everything else was banquet setups, housekeeping, all that kind of stuff. So we have this big hoorah meeting, and we pick in the groups. I don't have a group. So this gentleman walks over, and he says, "You must be Phil." I said, "Yes, sir." He goes, "Your mustache precedes you." He goes, "I'm Dean Andrews. I thought we were going to have a problem." Dean Evans. "I thought we were going to have a problem with that mustache." "That's a great mustache." I said, "Thank you." So I go there. We get ready and all stuff. I do a couple other things, and I'm there for a couple of days. Well, then the prince shows up. So my gig is when they pull up, I open up all the doors, have his entourage get out. They go open up the doors. They go in the building. They go do their deals. They come back out. We do it again. Well, when he gets into the car to leave, I have a driver. I get in that car, and we get there before he does. So when he shows up, I'm standing there. So the first day I've done this 3 or 4 times, and he comes up, and he gets out of the car, and he says to me, he says, "Phil, are you going to be every place I'm going to be?" I said, "Sir, if there's a door involved, I shall be there." He said, "I have no worries." I said, "No, sir." Off he went. So the second day we're doing this all again, and he looked at me and he goes, "That's a wonderful mustache." And that's when I said, the world can kiss my ass. I ain't never shaving again. If the Prince Charles will have a cool mustache, I'm all right. So I've been wearing it ever since.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a pretty cool deal. It was a lot of fun.
Good for you, Taxi Phil.
Yeah.
That's such
Great
a freaking cool story, man.
And now you're best friends with the king.
Oh yeah, me and the king hang out, man. We do tea and stuff and crumpets and all that good stuff.
I love that story. That's such a good one. Good for you.
Love tea and trumpets.
Yeah, it's a good story. There's a lot of fun. There was a lot of stuff involved with it, but that was Reader's Digest version. It was like the top 5, it was the top 100 CEOs in the UK and the United States were there at the time. And a lot of big names. So it was
including
fun.
Taxi Phil.
Yeah, Taxi Phil. At the time, I wasn't Taxi Phil yet. I was the doorman. I was Doorman Phil.
Doorman Phil.
Phil the doorman.
Phil the doorman. That's weird.
Yeah. And that's why Yeah, well, we got a new front office manager. She came down and asked me who the hell I was.
We can't
There's a
even
Bob
get.
Hope story.
I mean,
I
that's
got
for
one of those
next
too.
year. We'll put that on the docket for next year, Taxi Phil.
Yep. All right. Anytime you want to holler at me and you're bored, you got nothing to do, let me know.
Phil's got a
We don't
story
have a
for
guest
every
tonight. You
occasion.
just want to. We'll just call Taxi Phil and be like, "Hey, you're on the show tonight," and just tell a story, and we'll just kick back.
No problem. As long as Andrew ain't there, I'm in.
Ooh, them there fighting words.
I like it. He cheated this weekend. You know.
But we hope to see everybody next week in Pomeroy. If you're not in Pomeroy, you're missing a good show. But make sure you're at the big Whisker Revival. Absolutely. It rocks. And yes, it's in Newport, Kentucky. And yes, we're the Cincinnati Beard Barons.
You can see Cincinnati from the venue, basically.
Yeah, you can see Newport from Cincinnati.
Well, I mean, everybody knows
explain to people where we are located in the state. You know?
Yeah. Well, everybody knows that. Everybody knows that Newport, Kentucky is the best part of Cincinnati.
Oh yeah, no questions asked. Especially the Southgate House Revival.
Perfect. Yep. Best part. Oh, Andrew's offended. Wow.
Yeah, well, we don't worry about it.
Man, he sounds like
he only gave me $50 so he would win. If he gave me more money, I would have taken care of it.
Wow, what a cheapskate! He only gave me $50. I'd have gave you $100 if I knew that's what the game we were playing.
Oh yeah.
Freaking cheater. Anyway.
All right, Phil. Once again, it was an absolute pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you, sir.
Always more than welcome to come and promote anything you ever want. Talking Beards is your forum. So anytime you need us to do anything for you, we're always here for you.
Well, thank you very much. I have to go get my oil changed.
Ooh, Aaron can do that. He's
loves changing oil.
Yeah, well, I go to the dealership. It's part of the warranty deal. If you don't get it somewhere else, you lose the warranty. And here, the shop, the service department is open until 3 a.m.
Holy cow!
What the heck?
It's a beautiful thing.
What
you
dealer
roll in
is
at 10 o'clock right after lunch? Boom, you're knocked out.
What dealer is that?
McCluskey Chevrolet.
No, till 3 a.m.
Till 3 a.m. The service department is.
That's the craziest thing.
They're the busiest service department in the country, according to Facebook.
Jim Jones says I have to change oil once a week. That's
hair.
Really not.
Well, yeah, you do.
That's not too far from the truth.
Yeah, if you do it every 3,000 to 5,000 miles, you got to do it every 3 or 4 days.
Yeah, dude, it's.
And Natalie's small enough you can have her do it. She can go underneath there and change. You won't have to jack the car up.
Yeah, she just walks right under there.
Yeah, she has no problem.
Poor Natalie.
Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it. It's a great time, and you guys be safe in all your travels. Everybody, be careful out there on the big roads and the highways. It's dangerous out there.
Thank you very much, Taxi Phil, for all you do, and we'll see you this weekend.
Yes, sir. I shall be there.
Goodbye.
All right. Thanks, Phil.
Thank you, guys.
See ya. Whoops.
That was Phil.
That was Taxi Phil. That's such a good story, and there's probably 1,000 more of those to go along with that. And there was definitely lots of more details that just every twist and turn of that story was just like I couldn't believe it was real. But that was the, like you said, the Reader's Digest version of it. It was super crazy.
Yeah, definitely. I honest to goodness, how funny would that be to like have a Jim Jones Taxi Phil podcast to listen to?
Dude, I would watch it. I would listen to it. I would just absolutely to subscribe to a Jim Jones Taxi Phil. Like they would have to have a person to make them stop every episode. Like they would have to have a Natalie, like it's been an hour. You have to shut up. Like we can pick this up next week. Otherwise it'd be like a 22-hour episode. And that's a whole season though.
But this is a podcast. You can make it however long you want. And the thing is it's weird. Like, but sometimes the longer shows are, the more popular they are. It's weird. Weird. Some of my favorite shows that I listen to are like 2.5, 3.5 hours long. Like,
I mean, that's true. I listen to the Dale Jr. Download every week, and it's like 3 hours. So maybe we just need to start doing a 3-hour episode every week.
Oh my gosh. We should do like 5 3-hour episodes each week.
That sounds wonderful. We should definitely start doing that.
We'll start prepping. I'll start doing a whiteboarding it.
Okay, yeah, you do that. We'll start working on our 5 3-hour episodes.
You know what?
Every
Mike
week.
gives me a better idea. 24-hour pod. We'll just go just record.
100%. I would go live for 24 straight hours. We've talked about this and talked about this. We could do it as a fundraiser. We would get super stupid, like start talking random nonsense. There'd be lots of dead air. But my gosh, the content that we would create out of that 24-hour live stream, there would be at least minutes and minutes of good footage in there for sure.
Yeah. Well, but anyways, yeah, so we're going to be wrapping this up here, but just to let everyone know and to remind everyone, if you guys are looking for some new products, make sure you go over to honestamish.com and use promo code Talking Beards, and you'll get 15% off your order. In addition, if you order over $35, you will get free shipping. And breaking news, not that you can see me doing the breaking news thing, international shipping has been
There you go.
reinstated.
I forgot to even bring that up. Yeah,
I didn't.
I'm glad you remembered, because someone needed to remember, and you were that person, Scott Score the Beard Caster.
Because that's in big important news, especially
international
since
shipping is back.
Since we are part of the international lifestyle now, and you were over in England and then Canada coming up here, you got to make sure we're getting the product to all of our friends.
That's it. So yeah, international shipping's back. And if you're listening to this message and you've questioned me about international shipping, now is your chance, because I'm just going to be completely honest. If people don't order internationally, it may go away again. Who knows?
We can't, the $35, I believe that doesn't apply to international shipping.
No, that is domestic orders only.
Yeah.
100%. So don't even just act like we didn't say anything about free shipping. You could fly to the United States, and then you could put like your hotel as the place and order $35, and then you get free shipping all day long, and then you can fly back to England. But then you got like plane tickets and stuff, so that probably takes away from the whole free shipping thing. Anyway, yeah. So I'm Aaron D. Johnston. Thank you for watching Talking Beards tonight. And man, Taxi Phil, what a guest.
That's you telling me, Taxi Phil, what a guest.
And you're just sitting there.
I'm like, wow.
He was. Huh. Perfect. Well, welcome back, Scott Sikora. This episode made much more sense in my brain during the episode. It's just not the same without you. Monty does a great job, but it's not the same. So, thank you for coming by. I appreciate it.
I'm very happy to be back. Once again, I'm Scott Sikora. You can find Aaron on all his social media. You can find me on my social media at Scott Sikora, at Aaron D. Johnston. Yeah, thank you for checking the show out tonight. Talkingbeards.com. You go over there. One last thing, that fountain.fm, the really awesome podcasting app that I keep telling everyone about. We had another big boost by our good friend Al the other day, Vegan Al.
Vegan Al loves us.
Vegan Al, he's dropping the Satoshis on us. He's boosting our podcast like crazy. So if you guys are interested, fountain.fm, the best new podcast listening app out there right now. Download it and follow Talking Beards on there. As you listen to the podcast, you will get paid to listen to the show.
And then give me all your Satoshis.
You'll fill your wallet with Satoshis, which are they are micro parts of Bitcoin, but you don't even need to put Bitcoin in there. You don't need to do anything. All you need to do is make an account, and you'll start gaining Satoshis. You'll build your wallet up, and then whatever you want to do with those, you can do. You can cash them out, or you can donate them, or boost any podcast that you listen to on the Fountain app. You can give your favorite podcaster, 100 Satoshis here, or 200, or whatever you want. But it's making the whole podcasting listening fun for everyone. So check it out, fountain.fm, and follow Talking Beards on there. But thank you, Taxi Phil, for showing up tonight. Aaron, I missed you. I'm glad to be back tonight.
Yeah, tonight was good, man.
But yeah, thank you everyone for a lot of people in the I'm way off in the chat room here. There's been a lot going on.
It's all good.
What is that? Monty does too much research. He's R&D, man.
R&D. Research and development, Monty mentor.
So,
But
yep, that's all you got from us. But thank you everyone for tuning in tonight. We still have a ton of people here right now. I mean, this is great.
Thank you everybody for watching. We really appreciate this. This was a good episode. But everybody go have a great night. And if you're going to be in Pomeroy, I'll see you there. If you'll be in Cincinnati, I'll see you there. And if you're somewhere else, maybe I'll be there too. Who knows? I don't know. I don't know even know where I'm going anymore. But thank you everybody. Y'all have a great night. Okay, bye.
Goodbye.